All right, don't look now, libs, but there could be a giant red wave sweeping the globe. And could America be next in 2024?
Let's find out. Let's go off the wall, breaking down the movement, the right-leaning movement taking over the world. Right now, it's happening. On January, this is sort of what set the stage for it. 3 years ago, Brexit, January 31st, 2020. Britain votes to leave the European Union. Over dissatisfaction and time for a change, Pete.
Let me go even further back first to start, because what's interesting about what's happening in Europe right now is, could it be a preview for us in 2024 of a populist surge? Because I'll never forget where I woke up the morning of it. It was June of 2016 when when the voting referendum actually happened. It was before Donald Trump's election. And it was a surge of enthusiasm that, like, if they can do that in the UK, could we actually elect Donald Trump in 2016? And it was a shot in the arm for the populist movement to say this might be possible. So the question is, these previews of the countries we're about to go through, could it be the reflection of a surge across the globe in 24 that previews a populist movement?
Well,
it happened
thematically, there's a thematic continuation that starts with Brexit.
Absolutely.
It's local. It's national. It is caring about your country. Working class voters that often feel like everything has been imported in terms of immigration, and focus has been exported, focused on global change in the EU. It's
the working class that feels like they've been sold out by globalists, and then others who see illegal immigration flooding and changing the demographics of that country. And you can't help but see the similarities back to our shores of a candidate who ran on "I have the back of the working man and women, made in America," who said we're going to secure our borders and put America first. So the similarities are there. And Will, what's interesting about this year is we're starting to see Brexit-type rumblings across not just Europe, but across the world.
It's happening as we speak right now. This brings you into the current events. We'll start with Argentina, which everyone is talking about. Javier Milei, he won in Argentina, populist candidate, libertarian, tearing down government bureaucracy. This one's got to go, that one's got to go. I mean, he seems 100% principally dedicated to reducing the role of government in Argentina.
No doubt. He's talking about making Argentina great again. The guy campaigns with a chainsaw and fires it up as a symbol of how much of the government he wants to chop. He wants to bring Argentina back to the U.S. dollar. He's a former TV commentator who's run as a populist, calling out the socialists and the communists who had been running that country. Cristina Kirchner previously ran, hardcore leftist, ran Argentina into the ground. He's trying to revive it.
And then shortly after, this probably didn't make quite the level of headlines here in the United States, but Geert Wilders won election in the Netherlands. And the big here, this is the theme that that's a through line. It's immigration laws.
Absolutely.
And I mean, look, this is huge in Europe right now as they see, massive Muslim populations that don't assimilate into local populations, and immigration, like it was for the United States in 2016, a major motivating factor.
And then you see a rise in crime. The population starts to say, wait, this isn't the Netherlands that I grew up with. Who can I vote for? And sometimes it's a candidate who just a few years ago, Will's getting 5-6%. Now he's getting 28%, trying to potentially form a government and maybe annex it.
That's what's happening in France as we speak. Marine Le Pen's far-right party right now polling above President Emmanuel Macron's party by 8 points.
She's lost before. She was close with Emmanuel Macron. But again, the very same dynamic, sovereignty of that border at stake, expected to run again in 2027. But the polls right now show her running strong.
Ireland's interesting. Well, you saw riots in the streets, people upset after this guy who was an immigrant, but he was attempted to be deported in 2003, ended up stabbing 5 children. Conor McGregor's called it out. By the way, this is at the same time Ireland's attacking free speech in their own country.
They are. They're attacking anyone attempting to talk about this, or with that word we hear all the time, misinformation. But again, the people there fired up about an immigration crisis that they've seen that's totally changed Dublin and Ireland, and the voters are going to react to that.
So take a look at this really quickly. We talked about the thematic similarities. Look at this Venn diagram. It's a lot of words, but
this is a Kamala Harris diagram if I've ever seen one.
Here, back up.
Back
up. Okay, you got the United States on one side. You got Europe on the other. But here's the deal. What you're going to find is a focus on local government, local national interest, America first. Stuff that Trump talked about, like tax reform, immigration.
No doubt. And then over here in Europe, it's a focus on Brexit, getting out of the globalist international organizations, putting power back in the hands of elected representatives as opposed to folks in Brussels or at the UN here making decisions against the
And here's the commonalities right here in the middle of the Venn diagram. Immigration, economy, antagonism towards the establishment that seems to be focused on the globe and not national interests, populism.
Will this be the theme yet again in 24? That's certainly what Donald Trump is hoping for, his campaign, in what will be an interesting year ahead.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.